Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is Alan Philpott, who'll be taking on Shaun Etchell in the co-main event of Eternal MMA 78 at Liberty Hall in Sydney. Now, Eternal MMA 78, if you've been following, it's been in absolute shambles. They've had a few fights fall out, 2 title fights, a heavyweight bout, a whole bunch of fill-in bouts here and there. Of course, it's on UFC weekend, UFC 293 in Sydney. It's on the Friday, heading into the UFC. Now, a lot of people have been talking about the fights that have been dropping out, but this fight that is on the weekend, Shaun Etchell versus Alan Philpott, it's a very, very interesting fight because it's 2 fighters that, at one point in time were at the top of the game, and it wasn't too long ago that they were doing that. Shaun Etchell, I believe, Bantamweight and Flyweight, former champion of Eternal. Alan Philpott was regarded at one point in time like the very best around in Australia. So, look, both of them are in a bit of a skid. Shaun Etchell recently lost to Rod Costa, who's now the Bantamweight champion at Eternal MMA, and a road to UFC fight. So he's in a bit of a skid. Alan Philpott is on a 4-fight skid, but all of them have been to guys that have either champions in other organizations or title challengers. So they are still absolutely at the top, and even talking to the Eternal MMA Bantamweight champion Rod Costa, he does want the winner. So it's a very, very important fight. And of course, I wanted to have Alan on because he's a very interesting guy. He's adopted Australia, of course, from the UK, but he's come on over. He talks about he's very vulnerable in this chat. He talks about the mentality. He's even contemplated retirement. He's 30 years old, 50 fights. He talks about the mentality of losing a few fights and changing teams. Of course, from Igor MMA, which he was known for, to now Lions Den, and there was some reasoning behind that, which he goes into. Of course, he's very, very close friendship with Josh Culibao, who you might recognize from the UFC. Great guy, Josh, who has spoken before about the friendship that they have. And Alan just kind of goes into what it was like growing up, a tough family life, what led him into fighting, the troubles of fighting in Sydney with the commissions and whatnot. And look, it's just an overall, it's really eye-opening chat. I was really just looking to just get a few sound bites heading in, talking about the Shaun Etchell fight. But look, if there's a fighter you want to get behind because of how he speaks and how he tells his story, then this just might be the guy. And I know I'm rambling a little bit before we get into it, but I feel like it's necessary to set up just how special Alan Philpott can be. And it is more than just the fist fight. And if you follow Australian MMA on all the socials, you'll see that a lot of it has been fights being pulled and drama and talking about this fighter and that fighter and who's going to be the champ and all that sort of stuff. And that's great. It's definitely great for me with the clicks. But the insight we get into Alan Philpott in this interview is really interesting. That's probably the word I'll go with the most. So without further ado, guys, Alan Philpott. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the show, Alan Philpott, who has taken on Shaun Etchell at Eternal MMA 78, September 8th in Sydney at Liberty Hall. First of all, Alan, mate, the way this is going, you could be the main event.
Wow, it's not a bad thing to happen for me, obviously. No, I've been told at the minute I'm co-main, so even there I'm happy.
Because obviously you're in Sydney and you hear all the news of some of these fights falling out and whatnot. You've been in the fight game for a long time. Is this one of the most unlucky fight cards?
Yeah, no, it's the most unlucky I've been part of for sure, bro. No, I feel maybe like nothing on Cam and Ben, they're the boys, they're doing things right, but I feel like this card could have been a bit more, should be more Sydney people on it, bro. You know what I mean? There was a lot of people being brought in from other places, which is always the risk as well, especially for ticket sales. But there was a lot of Sydney fighters there that could have had that opportunity to fight, and that they didn't get the chance either. So, and it's the people that's coming in, and they're the ones that have been pulling out.
Well, I mean, talking of the Sydney fighters, I've always said that we have some of the best. I mean, you got like your Pedros, your Rob Whitakers. Like Sydney is represented in the UFC really well, but
Yeah.
Sydney in the regional scenes. I mean, Josh Togo, yourself. I mean, it feels like it's a lot thinner than it was before.
Well, I think I don't know, bro. Like saying that, you've got like Michael Stanoff, you've got Caleb Ryder, you've got Lachlan, and myself. Even though I'm a bit of a losing streak, I'm still well up there. No, like you say, you've got Togo, there's Ray Quinn, there's a lot. There's a good pull here. Like there is definitely a good pull. I just no, I feel that the other places are getting more, people's being more aware of them, routes as such. But like I think that Sydney's definitely got a lot of a good. Like I think they could have filled the majority of this card with Sydney fighters.
No, definitely. I mean, you just bring that up there. I mean, obviously a lot of up and comers as well as guys like yourself, like Ride Out and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel maybe there's more up and comers than there is actually like the level ready to go through the next stage compared to the other cities. But there's definitely like I said, there's a very good talent pool here, and even like the very low level, like George Mangos and Joe Davis.
Yeah,
I've recently, I've joined that team at Lions. Then, bro, I'm not messing. Like that's as high a level I've trained.
I think it's more in the sense of fight shows because it doesn't seem to be.
I wanted to mention Chris as well. Chris. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to leave him. That's my bad.
But like, I mean, you have said it there too, and like you said, there's a lot of up and coming guys, a lot of guys that have been around as well. But the Sydney shows seem to be lacking. What's happening? I mean, you got Urban Fight Night, but the other ones.
Well, like see Sydney as well for the MMA. Between the Combat Sports, like Combat Sports Authority is one of the worst organisations I've ever came across in my whole MMA career. They do as much as they can to stop people fighting and opportunities. Like fighting is a pathway for people that can help change the life of some people and give them a career. And they would stop people because of their past. They've got criminal records or whatever. At the end of the day, people make mistakes. People like how you many change and move forward if you're not getting opportunities. You know what I mean? And I feel like Combat Sports the Combat Sports Authority in New South Wales is a massive thing. Like I've been all over the world fighting, and I've never seen as awkward people in my life. No, I mean, it feels like they just want to use their authority because they can. Like even like in the corner, man, if you're not registered or if your registration runs out and stuff, you cannot corner your fighter and stuff like that. It's just stupid. Do you know what I mean? It's madness.
Is there like what are they doing specifically? Like you mentioned the thing about criminal records. I actually don't know if any state follows that similarly, but what is the main thing that they're doing?
These are the only one. Like New South Wales is the only one. You know what I mean? It's like like say you've got a criminal record as such, they can pull you out like a couple of days before the fight. The police get involved. Like once they get the list of fighters, and then it goes to the police and stuff. Like I'm talking, you're maybe 2-3 days out from a fight, and then next thing the police tell Combat Sports, nah, he can't fight, he has to come off. Such stuff like that. And also I feel, bro, is Sydney's very cliquey. Like a lot of promoters have their own shows, but they keep their fighters for their own shows as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I just don't get it, bro. It's just madness. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, it's about the opportunities of like fighting all different places and trying different promotions and I don't know. It helps grow the sport in the country rather than just the state as such. But I feel like everybody's just too cliquey here in Sydney as well.
Now, I believe I read a while back that you were signed exclusively to Eternal. Are you still signed?
Yeah. It's like I think this is my last. I think I think this the contract's up after this one. I'm not too sure. I need to have a look. But I'll openly say, bro, I'm happy with Eternal, bro. I like Cam and Ben. I like the fight pass. I like the fights I get. Like anytime any fight I've got, I've asked. You know what I mean? Like that, them top oppositions, what I want. Like I'm not looking these little easy fights where they're bringing in taxi drivers from all the countries and stuff. Like that's just me. I can't get motivated by that, bro. Like that's not why I do this sport. You know what I mean? Like I want challenge. I want to test it. And even though maybe I'm not on the best winning streak, but if you look at my performances against these boys, like I'm not getting beat up. I'm making mistakes. and they're capitalizing on them, and that's because they're at that high level where when somebody makes a mistake, but it also shows that I'm on that level as well. Do you know what I mean? So with Eternal, I feel like they have got as high a level, if not the highest level in Australia. Do you know what I mean? All the promotions or all the fighters aren't signed and fighting for all the promotions are just as high level, but no doubt. But I feel like Eternal has that wee bit more, and I feel it's more the professional side of it as well, like fighting on BAM and Cage Warriors and ACB and even the One Warriors series, whatever. Like, no, Eternal gives me that feel. It gives me that when you go to the show, how they handle things, like, no, well, with me, I feel like it's good. Like, I like the professional side of it, and it makes me feel I'm where I'm at.
No, it's good, and you've always been a hell of a professional as well with how you go about it as well. Talk about on the fighting sense. I mean, like you said, you've fought the best in Australia over your last couple of fights. Currently on a bit of I think it's a 4-fight losing skid. How does that? How do you rally yourself mentally going through that?
Don't worry, bro. I'm not a quitter. Don't get me wrong. Like, fucking after that last one, it was hard. Very, very hard, because I was just like I say, for me, it's never been a skill issue. It's never been a work ethic issue, and it's just like I look forward to these fights. Like, I can't wait to get in there. I'm enjoying every moment, and then I'm in there, it's good, and then I'll just have a lapse like concentration, or I make the mistake, something happens. You know what I mean? Recently, I got to go back home after Josh's fight in London, and going home this time is different because I was in camp, so I got to spend 2 weeks with my old coach and training partners, and another gym in Belfast, Fight Academy Ireland, the longest next generation Northern Ireland, and I felt like my old self again. Like, I felt like I realised like what I got into this for and how much I loved it and enjoyed it, and I'm just like, no, yeah, I've got 52 fights or 53 MMA fights or whatever it is, but I'm only 30 years old. Do you know what I mean? Like, and as much as it's been a bit of a rocky road the last few fights, like, it's not my performances. It's been the lapse of concentration. So I took it on myself. Like, I've always done a wee bit of mental work, but I do a wee bit, and I feel like, oh, I've unlocked it. I'm sweet. I'm ready to go because I've progressed. But this time I didn't stop, bro. And I went at different angles. I started working with a guy called Charles Meyer. He's like an inner child therapist. So it was more about my life. Like, basically, I was just wanting to figure out who I was, why I feel this way, why I do certain things. And that changed my life, bro. Like, I realized now how I act and why I act certain ways, and that was like something that I didn't know. Do you know what I mean? And while I was doing that, then I got in touch with Finney Shorman. He had a four session fighter thing.
Yeah.
And it was actually a guy sponsored me. He told me that he didn't want me to give him any credit or whatever, so I'll not mention much. But it was a guy. He just took on himself. He says, like, no, he wants to help me, probably the mental side. And then I says, well, look, there's this. And he basically sponsored me and done it. And again, that was more in about the sports and how I was thinking towards the sports and my actions towards the sports. And again, I feel like fucking I just unlocked things. And then recently, I'm working with a guy called Therapy with Rob. Like, he's like a hypnosis. Seems pretty similar to Vinny, but like what I find was Vinny was more like getting in my head, just to not to get in my own head. Like, enjoy the process. At the end of the day, it is what it is type mentality. And like, one of the things he used, which was really good, was like, if you're a caveman or a hunter and you're out hunting and you're starving, you haven't had for days, and you see that deer or something, you're just about to get it and it runs off. And then you have to get straight back on that horse and look for something else, or you're going to starve, basically. You can lie down and be gutted about it, or you can just get on with it. That was basically what he said. And it just sort of really like clicked to me, and I was like, you know what, like, fuck it, so what, I'm losing these fights. I'm still giving account. When these fights finish, people are talking about how Alan Philpott lost. They're not talking about how such and such beat him or how such and such done this. They're like, Alan made that mistake, or Alan up to that was doing this. Do you know what I mean? It's still all about me. And again, I'm not taking no credit from any of my past opponents. They're all top opponents, great guys. Whatever happened before fights done, respect for them all. But I know I am a far higher caliber of fighter than I've ever shown in my life. And like, it's been me and Josh has really been like baffled by it because the Alan in the gym's not the Alan in the fight. So that's why it was just like, you know what, fucking go for it. Just dig deep. And like I say, going even deeper in my mentality and trying to figure out who I was and why I was doing things was the biggest turnaround. And I can honestly say, bro, going into this fight is the happiest I've ever been in my life. I am so up for this fight. Like, I get goosebumps thinking about it. Every day I've been thinking about the moment rather than the fight, even though everything's for the fight. I've been enjoying every session. No, I left my other gym and now I'm with Lions Den MMA. Like I said, I'm now training with beasts every day. I'm getting challenged. I'm not the main guy. I'm not like going in there and getting like put on a pedestal where the boys are holding off. No, I have a coach that believes in me and isn't putting doubt in me. Do you know what I mean? It's positive energy. And like, I didn't have that for a couple of years. It was nearly the opposite. Do you know what I mean? It was like sort of going in there.
So you're out of Igor?
Yeah, I left Igor to go to Lions. And like I say, me and Josh still training. We're still away.
How's
Johnny,
that working?
As I said, bro, it's the best I've ever been. It's the best choice I've made since going to Australia.
Wow. And obviously without rocking the boat too much, what was going on at Igor MMA? Was it just not working out for you?
It just wasn't working, bro. And like the way my ideas and the coach's ideas, we're always counteracting each other. You know what I mean? It was just, I'm not getting too much, but it was just a toxic and negative environment for me. And I needed to remove myself from there. And like I say, bro, like since going to, like after being at home, that was the biggest. I feel like the training wasn't where it needed to be to get me to where I want to go. And that's what I noticed at home because of the level and the way they trained. And the same now that I'm at Lions, then I realized like what was missing. And like again, this is for me. Like this is not for everyone. Other people, what works for them, like what works for Josh doesn't work for me. Works for me doesn't work for Josh all the time. There's similar things we do, and that's fine. Like that's as fighters, we're different people, different styles, different energy. I need that hard grit push, that fighter. Like for me, Igor MMA is a martial arts gym, and Lions Den is a fighter's gym. I try and stay as martial arts ways as I can by being good and being nice. But fucking, I'm a fighter at the end of the day. I need that grit and that push. I need challenged every day. And like, there wasn't much challenge for me in Igor but Josh. And then when he's out of camp, man, he's fucking going to the 80 odd kilo. Like, I'm going back to 61 and a half. Do you know what I mean? Like, how am I going to work with that? He's hard enough to work big because he's a machine. Do you know what I mean? But never mind going down. But now I'm in a gym full of killers at my weight, bro. And I'm getting to train 50 minutes every night there and back. And I can't wait. I'm getting there half an hour early just because I don't want to miss a session. Where when Igor was 10 minutes around the corner and I couldn't eat, half the time it was like, took me energy just to go around there. Do you know what I mean? Wow. And again, because it wasn't working for me and the way things were.
So Josh Culibao still at Igor?
Yeah, Josh Fullaw, he's the Igor, and like Josh is my boy. He's been helping me in this camp. He's going to corner me with Luke from Lions Den, and Johnny is my striking coach from the whole time. Like I say, like me and the boys haven't fell out or nothing. It's just they're still my boys, still theirs, and we'll still train with Johnny doing our striking. But just for the MMA, I need it to just do my own thing. I need it to just be me in the MMA gym. Yeah. Where Igor, I was a coach for a while, and like. Even when I wasn't, I was still finding it hard not to take time out and help the boys and not like where I'm at Lions Den, like me, I don't even half the time my blinkers are on. I'm just whoever my partners are, I'm just doing it. And you know, Luke's an amazing coach. I love his style, love his approach. And no, part of me wishes I'd done it sooner, but at the same time, this is the way it's meant to be. And like I'm just glad that I've finally I feel at home, bro. I feel like so after at home and coming here in Australia, I finally found a team where I feel at home. Between Johnny at Legends and Bantamweight Mixed Martial Arts and Lions Den, I actually feel now at home where there was always that something missing.
Was it a hard decision to make? Because your relationship with Josh Culibao is really well documented and I remember
bro, it's not going to change whatsoever. Like I say, the only thing is we won't train each other. We won't train at night. Me and him do our strength conditioning together, our striking together. No, he needs me for anything. I'm there. I need him for anything. He's there. Like no, he brought I was feeling a wee bit down and flat today, and he brought his baby in just to give me that little bit of a lift, bro. Like I haven't even got to see her yet. So as soon as he brought, just like fucking give me a spark, bro. It just changed my whole mood. And do you know what I mean? Like, he's doing that for me. Like, Josh is my brother. Like, we're the yin and yang, literally, because I'm white and he's black. But also, but like, just the personalities. When I'm on, he's off. When he's on, I'm off. No, it's just is like, and that's not going to change. And he's fully supported me, and he knows my reasons. And he's like whatever. He just wants to see me be successful and happy, and anything he can do to help, we will. And that's the same for him.
Just to round out the gym stuff. So, are you like, can you walk into Igor MMA, or is it still a bit frosty?
Well, like I say, I'm not getting into it too much, bro. Like I say, at the minute, it's just not a good topic. Not on my half. On the coach, he's upset. But basically, I've left other people starting to leave. They're feeling the same way, and I'm getting the blame for taking people from the gym, which isn't the case whatsoever. But you know, it is what it is. Like, there's nothing on my end, bro. I understand and how it looks, and like, it's not the way it is at all, bro. Like people, I'm like, we're adults. I mean, I'm leaving for my own benefits, and people are feeling the same, and they have been for a long time. And if they want to leave, like, that's on them. And instead of blaming me and talking and trying to put it on me, why don't you should just speak to them and find out why they want to leave. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because no, but that's it. I don't want to get too far into that, because I don't want Josh to get upset, or do you know what I mean? Yeah. People's going to get upset regardless, because stuff's going to come out, especially when they win this fight. And I'm excited. And that's probably go on the mic and say shit, but you know what I mean? It is what it is, bro. Fucking life goes on. I'm in too good of a place to be bothered by something like that. Like, I'm a 30-year-old man now, and I'm happy, bro.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to ask as well. Is you've had, like you said, nearly 50 or 50-odd MMA bouts. You're 30. You have flirted with almost a retirement before, or not being too sure of what you wanted to do. It sounds like that is well and truly behind you, and you're not retiring anytime soon.
Flipping on his head. Like I say, bro, I've had this, and I feel like this is my first fight. That's just so crazy. I feel like I'm going in here finally, like, how I'm feeling. I'm in the moment. It's just about this fight, where I'm usually thinking about what's next, fucking where I should be, where I could be, why am I not there? Why is he there and I'm not there? You know what I mean? Where now I'm just like, about me getting this fight, focusing on this fight, and that's just where I'm at in life, and I'm happy with it, bro. And, you know, I was thinking I should have retired after the 4-fight losing streak and stuff, where, you know. Again, that's me thinking too far ahead. Thinking me, all right, I'm 4-fight losing streak, 50-odd fights, no one's going to sign me. All right, well, fuck, you're 30 years old, dude, all this experience built up. Yeah. Imagine you turn it around on his head, where you can go. I mean, I've got the name already. Then I basically feel like I've done a half-hearted. So now that again, I feel on point. And bro, like, how I feel now and getting into the mindset, it's not even just been the last 4 fights. This is my whole career. It's been I feel like the not knowing myself and understanding properly. I think that's the reason why I have been up and down, because it's been every time I've been close to a big opportunity. It's been like, no, a Bama world title 3 times. Fell short. The one fight off of one FC contract fell short. My first fight back, you know, against Justin Van Heerden, that 50 fight, this big fucking spear. It was every time there was a big fight on the line, same as when I was an amateur. But again, a lot of it comes down to, like, my dad and stuff not being there, and when he was, I never could get his attention. It was like, I never felt like I deserved it, which was weird, because I physically didn't feel that way. You know what I mean? Like, I never even crossed my mind, but the more I got into myself and the deeper I got in my head and into my emotions and stuff with Charles, it was like, holy fuck, like, so much happened when I was a kid that has now been the reasons where I am in life. So it's like, now that I've answered them questions and I've fucking opened boxes I didn't even know were there, and I've literally done whatever I can to better myself as a person and a fighter, I'm excited to see what's next, bro. And like I say, like, Johnny, my striking coach, asked me this the other day. He's like, are you going in this thinking it's your last fight if you lose? And I was like, you know what? See, if I go in here and give my best performance and he beats me fair and square, how can I walk away from that? Do you know what I mean? Like, If I go in there and I beat myself again, then that'll be it. Like, I mean, that's like, you can't just keep doing this to yourself. Do you know what I mean? Putting myself through all this financial stress, putting my body. Like, I'm going to bantamweight again. Like, I fucking spent 2 years growing the featherweight. This has been a 12-week camp. Like, no one's seen the effort I put in. My shape, I'll tell you, I'm conditioned the fuck. I'm in solid shape. And I think my mentality is so strong. It's the first fight I'm getting in feeling fit. Like, I'm not worried about gassing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not worried one bit about gassing. I can wrestle for 3 rounds if he wants to wrestle. Definitely can strike. I'll strike anyone in the whole Australia anyway. But, I'm ready, bro. I'm fucking ready.
Well, speaking of the fight with Shaun Etchell, is there anything about his game that stands out to you? Is there an area that you think he can really exploit?
Bro, he is a tough, durable little guy. Like, I like the guy. I have a lot of respect for him. We've actually spoken in the past about him coming, staying in my house and coming and train with us at Sydney. And the way he even says, like, look, when I was talking to going Bantam, I said, look, fucking, obviously, you're struggling for a fight. I'm going to go back to Bantam. You're not the ideal first fight back. But after that, we will have to fight. And then, look what's happening. It's my first fight back. He was the ex-champ. And you know me, bro, I don't like the easy route. It's like, I had options to go try and find someone else, and they gave me options, and I was like, who's the toughest to Etchell? All right, fuck it, let's go. Straight back on the top horse. Take him out, puts me straight back at the top of the chain, do you know what I mean? Because like I say, I know I'm the best. It's just that my mentality's been holding me back.
Well, it is funny that you bring that up because the bantamweight champ Rod Costa's fighting on the very same card at featherweight. I can only imagine that even though you guys are on a bit of a skid, that an impressive performance. I mean, I spoke to Rod Costa. He's on record saying that he does want the winner out of you and Etchell.
100%, bro. It's like it's written in the stars. Like, you know what I mean? It's like getting regulars are for DJs, bro. Like, yeah, fucking, you can go into all that shit, but like, let's be realistic. Like, who else are you going to put in there? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, there's Gauchi and Haddon, but they're already tied up in their own promotion, Hex. You know what I mean? Apart from that, we're the top 2. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just there's no other fight makes sense than the winner. It's not been spoken about at all. It's never even mentioned. I did see a post something saying that there was number 1 contenders, but like, he was the champ his last fight, and before that was a UFC fight. Do you know what I mean? So like, how higher can you get?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I go in there, I take him out. No, I just took out the champ, and he was the champ in his last fight before he lost. Puts me in there, like, and what, bro? The last time I was a bantamweight, it was 5 years ago. I took out Gustavo Falsaroli.
Yeah.
He was the best. He's been the best bantamweight in Australia ever.
Yeah.
Absolutely demolished him for 3 rounds. Wasn't even close. Didn't even feel like I had to step out of second gear. Put me number 1 in Australia. Do you know what I mean? So my last time at bantamweight, I was the man. After that, I moved up to featherweight. So, do you know what I mean? It's not as if like I've lost 4 at bantamweight and then I'm coming back to bantamweight and getting a title fight. Nah, I'm coming out to take out the ex-champ and then proving that I am the best bantamweight and I'm coming for Costa. And that's just the way it is.
I love it, mate. Now, before I let you go, I just wanted to kind of, when you talked about your dad, the troubles there and whatnot, but overall, I mean, how important is your family when you go into these fights, and obviously your upbringing and the love that you have for everyone else?
Well, that's one of the biggest things, and my problem was that I was too invested in trying to help everyone else and give everybody else a lot of energy and time. And again, it was another reason why I had to spread the wings and separate and get somewhere where I can just be me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm somebody that gives a lot. You know what I mean? I get took up wrong sometimes or I come across wrong sometimes because I've got a lot of passion, a lot of love. So I come from a massive loving family. Me and my dad's cool. Like, we get on, but it's just he was never really there. And there was a lot of things when we were younger. He was a soldier. He was away. When he was home, he didn't really make the effort. It was just there's a lot worse out there anyway. So I'm very grateful. But the hatchets are buried, bro. Fucking, do you know what I mean? It's just like, as much as I love my family and friends and everybody else, like, this is about me now, bro. Like, this This is purely about Alan Philpott doing what's best for him. Do you know what I mean? And I have, like I say, this camp, I've been cutting out Instagram for Monday to Friday, getting on the weekends just to sort out my PTs. I haven't spoke or anything hardly to any of my family. Haven't really seen any of my friends. My dog's been my best mate. I mean, literally, it's just been me and my dog most of the days. Unless it's something in the gym or my housemate or something, I barely even communicate it. And it's been the best thing for me, bro, because I really, like I say, I've really got into myself. And like, I just don't know what else more I could do to get to this fight in the best physical and mental shape I could. Like, I genuinely do not know.
No, it definitely sounds like, I mean, we're going to get an incredible version of you. So I will let you go. But before I do, I just want to know, like, after it is all said and done, how does Alan Philpott want to be remembered in mixed martial arts?
That's funny you said that, bro, because I was literally thinking the other day, I was like, you know what, like, I now know that this, I'm set out to help people and do more, but for now, it's for me, I just want to be known as that guy that guy struggled, had a lot of things go against him, but didn't quit, didn't give up, and made something of himself. Whenever others doubted him and tried to bring him down, he rose above it and showed strength that if you keep going, you keep your head focused, no matter what, just keep pushing through, you can make it and you can do something with your life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I come from a town that's full of drugs and like drink and negativity, and there's not many people do something that I want to be remembered as that guy that done something. Do you know what I mean? Something positive for life, and give the kids something give the future, like something like, I want to be like him. I can do that. You know what I mean? I don't have to just settle for a job, or I don't have to turn into a drug addict or anything. I can push on. I can be what I want to be.
Mate, it is incredible. I mean, like we said, I only really wanted 5-10 minutes of your time. We've chatted for half an hour, man. I could thank you for opening up. I will let you go because we could honestly talk for hours. But mate, best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. Eternal MMA 78, Liberty Hall, Sydney. You can see it on UFC Fight Pass. Alan Philpott taking on Shaun Etchell September 8th. Mate, best of luck, and I'll chat to you sometime in the future.
Yeah, you'll be chatting to me, setting up for the Bantamweight title next week, DC, brother. This is it. It's the rise of Super Ali.